Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today we're going to be unboxing and taking a look at the Pelta class frigate expansion pack for Star Wars Armada's Clone Wars Republic faction. That's right. The Pelta is now in 2 different factions, and it's a beautiful time to be alive as an Armada player. This marks the 4th and final ship from Wave 10 to finally arrive. And I'm pleased to say, oh, look at this one came a little bit, maybe it was, I don't know if that was just in shipping, probably, but it's still sealed. But this is actually a pre-order. Also, if you guys are new here, don't forget there's a round of the giveaway going on right now for $25 Amazon gift card. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. We have our cardboard. We've got some plastic. We've got no dials. And we have a ship. Let's take a closer look at this ship. All right, so here is the Republic Pelta in all of its glory. We have those nice Republic decals right there on the front. Really nice Republic red and kind of that kind of light tan that we come to expect, as well as some Republic grays on there, and a few other little browns and other little highlights. Now this is a really nice looking ship. It's not going to be too dissimilar from the Pelta we've already seen. Of course, you do have the one notable difference that these wings are in the back, and they do not come out. They do not move. Although the cool thing is, if you want to swap this with the existing Pelta for the Rebels, if you happen to play multiple factions, you could probably do that. I mean, it'd be nothing wrong with you just swapping the model out. And we'll compare the models here in a little bit too. I'll do that towards the end. We'll kind of see how this one compares. Underneath we got some of that brown right there. We've got some more reds. A little bit of a sloppy paint applications on the bottom. This I've seen. This may be one of the sloppiest that I've seen. Do me a favor, if you guys have one of these at home, take a look at the bottom of yours in the back here. Like look at all of this. This is really poorly applied, and of course this was going to be my first candidate for a repaint, and yeah, all of this is really sloppily done, and I'm kind of and it's thick too, right? It's really applied very thick on the back here, which means even repainting you're going to see that it's so thick applied, it's adding texture to the model that's not supposed to be there. So this is actually going to have to go in some green stuff and get stripped. I might actually do a whole video when I get around to doing this, because I'm going to have to pick up another Pelta, because I like to keep one with its default paint job. But this is actually very, I mean, it's decent. I mean, look, from a distance, you're going to be looking at it like this far away. So it's fine. I just have come to expect like the absolute greatest quality of Starship pre-paint jobs. At least for mass-produced stuff from Fantasy Flight and Asmodee in general, soon to be Atomic Mass Games. So you know, I'm a little surprised to see, you know, like things like this, you know, like that's a whole it bled over to a whole different section. Again, this is on the bottom, so it's not a big deal. Like I'm not trying to throw them through the grinder here. It's really in the scale of things, it's a small criticism, but I think it's worth pointing out that, I mean, in the front, you know, the decals, this all looks really good. Well, mostly good. There's a little bit of bleed over in 1 or 2 parts, but not very much. I mean, you're going to have imperfections. Right there in the middle, we have a little bit, kind of right there. A little bit where it missed right there in the middle. But again, nothing too bad. Let's take a look at the cards and everything else that comes with this pack. Well, we also get of course, our base and our plugs for the shield dials and the small but sturdy stand, which is always nice to be able to have the extras of those. I wish they would sell more stands. Here's our cardboard. Here's that firing arc for the Pelta, big wide front arc and kind of narrow rear arc. And we've got our defense tokens. And of course, that super important proof of purchase. And there's the other side. So there we go. Let's take a look at the ship cards. So here we go. I'm gonna get a different angle on this. All right, so we've got our medical frigate over here and our transport frigate. Big differences up at the front are the color of dice. Our medical frigate is going to have blue in the front and sides, and our transport's going to have a black in the front and sides. But besides that, they're still both going to have red dice. Movement's not too bad. It's max of speed 2. We have an evade, a brace, and a redirect. 5 hull. The medical's going to have 1 blue anti-squadron, whereas the transport's going to have a blue and a black for anti-squadrons. This one hates squadrons more and has a lower squadron value, whereas our medical actually has a squadron value of 2, making it a little bit better for activating squadrons versus making the transport a little bit better for hurting squadrons. And of course, flipping these over, our transport is going to be our support version. He's going to have the fleet support and defensive retrofit, and the of course the support team, whereas our medical frigate is going to have fleet support and offensive retrofit. And of course it has the clone medical and then clone transport version. They're also 45 versus 49 points respectively. Okay, now we have our commander here, Admiral Tarkin. We actually have 2 commanders. So Tarkin's going to be our first one. He's going to be a 30-point commander. He's going to let you start off with 6 dials on him. At the start of each ship phase, you may discard a command token, rather 6 tokens on him. And you can either gain a matching token on every ship, or your flagship itself can gain the matching command dial. So he's a little more flexible than the older Tarkin. He's not exactly, he's kind of like a Thrawn-ish type, but, he can give you 1 dial on your flagship, or he can give the whole fleet a token. But he can do it 6 times instead of only 3. So that's kind of cool, but you do have to plan in advance. Next up is Admiral Yularen. And this is one I really like. He's a 24-point commander. He's going to do 2 different things. For squadron activation, he is going to say if you spent a token, you get a bonus squadron activation, which is going to be really, really good for those token-based fleets, and just gives you incredible potential to be able to activate really high counts, especially if you put him on like a Venator 2 and have tokens available as well. You're looking at you can potentially get 8 squadrons potentially with certain builds of Venator 2s. It's just it's pretty wild. So he also gives you an additional squadron ability to your fleet. When a friendly ship revolves engineering command, it can spend engineering points on the following repair effect. You have a new effect called Repair Squadrons. You can spend 2 points to choose a friendly squadron distance 1 to 3, and they recover 1 hull point. Now, the way engineering points work too is, as long as you have enough points to fuel multiple instances of it, you could, if you had 4 points, you could actually repair 2, damage off a squadron. So this is just a really, really nice way to keep those scatter aces alive even longer. It's just really, really cool that you're getting 2 different abilities with him. We have more upgrades as well. We've got Adi Gallia, a 3-point officer. When defending, when you suffer damage from an attack, you may suffer up to 1 damage on shields of a hull zone adjacent to the defending hull zone for each defense token you spent during the spend defense tokens step. If you do, suffer any remaining damage on the defending hull zone. So it's kind of like a little bit of free redirect type of action. Like you can get up to 2 redirect points, and she can work really good with, I think, Obi-Wan Kenobi as a commander, who is it's a really good defensive way to be efficient and not have to worry about I don't want to also spend redirect. Really good also defense against potentially against bombers as well and squadrons just doing damage to you. We've got Clone Captain Silver. He's going to start with a nav token on him. He's going to exhaust, and you can spend a nav token to ready him. He costs 4 points. When you execute a maneuver during your determined course step, if you haven't resolved a nav command during this activation, you may exhaust this card to increase or decrease your speed by up to 3. If you do, you cannot resolve a nav command during this activation. You can spend tokens from this card to ready it. So he gets you 2 speed adjustments of up to 3. So you can go to speed 0 and then boom, just go crazy. You can speed up and then slow down. You can do a lot of really wild stuff with this guy. We've got Mercy Mission, which is a super cool fleet command. 0 points. Before deploying fleets, unequip this card and choose a friendly small ship that is not your flagship. Equip this card to the chosen ship, even if it does not have the fleet command icon on its upgrade bar. At the end of the game, if you are within the enemy deployment zone, increase your score by 40 points. If you were destroyed, increase your fleet value by 20 points. So it's a little bit of a gamble. If you are able to stay alive and make it to the enemy deployment zone, you're going to get 40 bonus points. If you die, your opponent's going to get an extra 20 points for killing you. If the middle ground, if you end up, surviving and don't make it there, then no harm, no foul. So that's pretty cool. We've got FB88 in here. Before you reveal a command, you may discard your top command dial. This one's really, really interesting. You're thinking like, well, why would I want to do that? Well, there's a command to ship. You set one dial every round. And so what this is going to let you do is it lets you have a tremendous amount of activation options. You always, because you can always look at what you have planned for the following round. So you always plan 2 different commands, and then before you reveal, you say, which one of those 2 do I actually want? If it's the one on top, you leave it as is. If it's the one on the bottom, you discard the top one and then set 2 more next turn. So it gives you a tremendous amount of control. Although it's a little awkward because it's not the way you normally do command dials, but this one allows you a really good amount of, what command am I going to want to do this turn? And it's also some built-in defense against some kind of things like slicer tools and things like that, which is kind of cool. Then we've got the TB73, a 5-point title. Just gives you a straight up extra defense token, extra evade. Hey, that's good. Evade is a good defense token. You can't run TRC on this particular ship though, so it's not like it's super, super great, but it's extra defensible, and I like it. I like it. It's pretty good. These are actually all unique. Like every upgrade card we got in here is unique, which is pretty interesting. All right, so that's the Pelta and everything that comes in here. You're not going to get a whole lot of extra upgrades. I don't even know if a lot of people are going to need to buy more than one of this ship. It seems like a lot of what it does, it's going to do pretty well with just a single version of it. But I can see maybe running 2. I mean, you do have 2 titles after all. I'm going to get a second one. And also another reason for that is it may be a little while before we get another wave of Armada, and so I think there's plenty of time to exhaust fleet building options. I mean, heck, you could run a whole fleet of these. I'm not sure how great that would be, but it's not. I mean, for a small ship, it's got a fair amount of survivability on it, so that's not bad. I do want to compare this to the Rebel versions. As you know, I've been repainting my Rebel fleet, so here's my blue version of the Pelta. It's the same size. And it's got a lot of things the same. I don't actually have one that's identical to the version that came in the box, because I have 2 Rebel Peltas, and even the other one I repainted. I did this one first. Wasn't as thrilled with this one, but this one's at least a little bit closer to like a more of a standard kind of Rebel look, I suppose. I don't know how it's supposed to move. I'm thinking about this. Shouldn't the Rebel version be speed 3? I mean, if it's opening up to show you all the extra engines, shouldn't that be like a thing? Maybe it will be someday. I don't know. But yeah, and also the bases have the same angle for the firing arcs. So yeah, the bases are the same. So you could really just swap one for the other and just ignore the printed dice values. It looks like the pips are in the same locations as well. So. They look very, very much the same, very, very much the same. So if you don't have one yet and you want to proxy your Rebel version for a Republic version, just note that you have less dice, but the lines look like they're drawn in the same spots, and the dots look like they're in the same spots as well. So it should be good enough for you to proxy. And with this, our Republic fleet is complete. So hey, let's look for some Republic games in the near future and get some clones out there blowing stuff up in space. All right, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. Check out the links in the description below. I'm on TikTok now, and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and doing lots of other fun stuff. Check out Crabbok.com. You can check out the Armada AI expansion if you're looking to get games in. Maybe nobody plays in your area. Well, there's a solo play for free on Crabbok.com. You can check that out. There's lots of cool stuff there. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much, and as always, have a great day.